Coffee in Tow is an interactive world news podcast, a dynamic and engaging live show that streams across multiple internet radio stations worldwide. This podcast brings you real-time news updates, in-depth analysis, and interactive discussions on global events, making you a part of the conversation no matter where you are. With a diverse range of expert guests and listener participation, it's your go-to source for staying informed and connected to the world. Coffee in Tow is brought to you in part by Lormel Skin Food. Log on to lormelskinfood.com. Discover the range of natural skincare solutions. Indulge in the radiance of natural and organic beauty with the best natural and organic soap bars, whipped soaps, body butters, and oils. All 100% natural products. Lormel Skin Food for a natural, beautiful you. The world's best coffee from our farms to your cup. It's Grant Coffee House. Oh my gosh, it is Thursday, June 12, 2025. Of a big party, but it may rain on the party on Saturday. Stop it, moments, behave yourself. Yes, for those of you who are planning to attend a party, by the way, you know that you can get paid $1,000 to go to the party. Head on over to Craigslist, and scroll down where it says, I think, talent gigs. And yeah, you can be paid $1,000 to show up at the party on Saturday because they need seat fillers. But if you're going to take advantage, and you will be paid in cryptocurrency, not the mighty dollar bill, you will be paid in cryptocurrency, and more than likely that cryptocurrency is linked to you know who. So you are going to be paid $1,000, the value in cryptocurrency. But I will advise you, because right now, per the various weather apps, there's a 60% chance of showers. So you may want to walk with your umbrellas, put on your galoshes, your raincoat. Yeah, that one, Saturday. So remember, folks, going out to the party, please go prepared. Don't get sick. Don't get sick. Take your vitamin C. It's Thursday, June 12, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me for Coffee in Tow, World News on the Go. 4 hours filled with news from around the world, always great conversation and music. Coffee in Tow streams weekdays starting at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on QMZRadio.com for quality music while you work or play. Keep it logged on to www.qmzradio.com, JanoRadio.com, your non-stop party vibe station. And download the Jano Radio app. It's available in your Apple and Google Play stores. And madmusichouse.com for any genre, anytime. We are live on TikTok starting at 9:15 a.m. YouTube 9:35. I gave myself the extra 5 minutes because sometimes the party really nice over here, and we can't play the music on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. All right, coffee is brought to you in part by Lormel Skin Food. Log on to lormelskinfood.com for a natural, beautiful you. Also brought to you in part by Grant Coffee House. Get 20% all coffee products when you shop today at www.grantcoffeehouse.com. Use the code COFFEEINTO20 at checkout. Hope everyone is doing well. Ja Rastafari. And we need to be praying for rain this weekend in the Northeast. They need a lot of rain up there, Ja.
It should be coming because it's been pouring here for hours. So it looks like it's pushing up that way. It's pushing up that way.
We're sending showers.
Yes, I'm sending it up there. Yes. Thunderstorms, lightning, all pushing it up that way, pushing it up that way. Good morning, CIT family. Don't say it, Moments. Don't say it. I see it all in your eyes. Don't say
I'm gonna be a good girl.
it. You don't want to mess up his birthday plans.
No, I mean, guess what? Showers of blessings, right? Yeah, it will be showers. Wet up the place, Father God. Wet it up. Open up the heavens and let it all come down.
Let it rain on me. Yeah, what that song go?
Rain on me, let your love. You know, son is no good. It's not a good set of people. I need to find some new friends. 2026, scratching everybody up and starting afresh. I need
Whatever.
I've been saying that for a while now, right?
From since I met you, yes. And I'm still here.
Go. You know, wishful thinking.
Yeah, we'll have new friends in Utopia. We'll get new friends in Utopia. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Okay. I sure you know what that acronym is.
I know exactly what you said. Okay, all right. I'll sit down and behave myself.
And Ozzy is new, okay? So he already know, right? Okay.
All right. Dr. Leslie, how are you and Lamb doing? Listen, you and Lamb need to we need the rain to come on down for you. I think you need rain. I hear it's pretty hot up there. And you need to cool down the play weekend. So make sure it rain up there, Dr. Leslie. Do what you must. I'm going to be doing my dance in the backyard later. So that how I can help.
Good morning. Let me tell you something. This whole birthday party foolishness is messing up everybody's schedule, messing up all of the traffic. Like even today to go into the city, there's so much, and you know, there's already traffic in DC. Already traffic in DC is horrible. Now you're blocking this, that, and the other off. Like why? Who cares?
Yeah.
Let it rain, I say.
Yeah.
I have a match on Saturday. I say, let it rain.
I need to call my brother.
I'm willing to forfeit my match. I think we moved the match to indoors. So let it rain. Man, I care.
Tumble down. Like it tumble down by the people them.
Fire and brimstone.
Wash away the germs. Cleansing. Yeah, I need to. Are you checking with my brother up there and see what if he ain't going nowhere? He'll be playing dominoes. Oh, Lord have mercy. Make what air way off a Senna Kirk. You know, we have to area.
Top of the morning. It is a Thursday. Welcome to Coffee Intel. Reaching out to everyone in our listening ears. It is hot. You gotta stay hydrated. We request some rain. We gotta pray. To all my beautiful people out there, I'm sending a lot of love, a lot of blessings. It is a throwback.
Hey. Are we dead, Kirk? A Thursday. We are called.
I want to tell you, say no, so next week me there already.
No, you know what? This is one time I'll say yes. We need to fast forward the time as quick as possible. We need to get through.
Well, listen. You see, everything that is happening for a purpose. Yes. You understand? Hallelujah. And for that purpose, we can question it. You understand?
Yeah.
So, wait a moment. I didn't know that's how we're supposed to introduce ourselves. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee and Toad. This is Dr. Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Okay. I know. Notes taken.
A lot of mercy. Hey. Listen. I never know I was that influencer.
You hit that influencer. Yeah, I saw the thing go. I saw the thing said. You have to come out strong on that.
So I'm going to do that so you can play it every morning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I'm not present, at least my voice is being heard. As I always say, I like to be seen and not heard and not seen. Yes.
Yeah, man. Send it come, send it come, send it come. You put a smile on our face. Yeah.
So,
Wake
but so
up the place.
I'm happy that I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
twang
just said,
pound with them.
yeah.
Yeah, twang pound with them.
Rastafari.
You're twanging. It's twang. You're twanging.
Negative, negative. What's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah, speak is pokey, are we? Hold on, isn't
No,
there a song
listen,
that go that way?
I can
Speak is pokey. No, man, isn't there a song right now?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
man.
think there's one.
Yeah, man. Well, all time song speak is pokey. From the 80s. Hold on, me so figure it out, man.
We can search for it.
No cool, but me no cool.
Listen. Hold it.
You see what Ozzy said? Tran in heads.
No, fix up the argument, brother. No, better like that. What?
Tran.
That's it.
I am never ever coming back up on the stage. I'm introducing myself in such a way. Hello, good morning.
Listen. If you don't come back, you're missing out a lot. Come on now.
You never said to Dr. Leslie, she has to come back. She has to come back.
We don't know what to come back party.
She have to return. We have to return. Me got St. Thomas Fair.
Yes, forward. Yeah.
Forward. Yeah, me
Yeah, we're overs.
Yeah,
we're over.
me pour out some rare nephew, light a white candle, wrap up my head, read a psalms, spin my roll. After she don't want me compare like that.
Oh God. Well, you know. Dehydrated.
Yes, folks, please. Kurt, thank you so much, and always a pleasure. Thank you.
No problem.
And Sochi, what's happening at the pond? Talk to us. How are things in your neck of the woods? Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon from this side of the kingdom, His Majesty's kingdom. Yes, we are fine. Unfortunately, we lost about 84 nationals this morning due to air crash in India. And unfortunately, it's such a somber day, especially when we lose our fellow colonizers. But we shall have to dig into the colonies and bring some more out. And
be nice.
Yes.
What? Be nice.
About what?
Be nice.
Oh, okay. Yes, they've gone into colonizers' heaven, and they should be fine. And be good.
I'm gonna mute your mic, Ja. You next.
Not their own special heaven. That is hilarious. I'm sorry. I love the laughter. Good morning, Adesoji.
Yeah, good morning, Javed. Yes, of course. You can be mixing colonizers' pedigree with just commoners. Yeah.
Even Adesoji voice changed too. You see? Yeah, something else, bro.
He does that for me, Dr. Leslie. He does that for me.
Oh, well, I'm waiting for Mr. President and James because they'll do it for me.
They will do it for me. Pause.
Sorry, moments.
We don't need to behave on ourselves. All right, so thank you for starting it off for us, Adesoji. Really appreciate you. Rosolo, let me hear your voice. We need to hear your voice. Where's she there? She's spinning and she's spinning. She's spinning and she's spinning. Girl, you're getting dizzy. You're making me dizzy with all this spinning. She's still a spin. Lamb been worried about your solo. I don't know why that takes so long for you to come up. She's in the office. Hey, Laura.
Good morning. I'm in the office.
Good morning, Laura.
Morning. I'm in the office. Yes, I'm in the office. So
I'm speaking Lamb. Good morning.
I barely have service. I'm so sorry.
So where's Lamb to tell Rosola good morning real quick?
Morning,
Real
Lamb.
quick.
Morning, Soji.
Yes, good morning, Lady Rosol.
Excuse me. You can't talk to my woman, so you understand? First things first. Good morning, Rosolo. Rosolo.
Good morning, Lammy. Good morning, baby.
I mean,
Yes.
I find I was a delayed morning, you know. You know, I just be thinking about you on a regular. How you doing, girl? You looking good, good, good. And I know you're whole of fresh this morning. Hey, what's now?
Lamb, I'm at work and I cannot engage
No, that's
in this
okay.
type of
I'll
behavior
engage
because I
for
have
you.
people around me.
Engage for you. Watch now. I have your
Please, my life complete.
This is seriously Mad People
Mama,
Central. I think it's the news
Mama, this is
also.
what I do. This is what I've come to. J'avais un sujet.
At least you got a man.
Dr. Leslie showing off for Mr. President and James, and I have a alarm as alarm.
At least you got a man. At least you got a
That's
little man.
true.
Did you just
Mary,
wiggle?
I'm
Did you
I'm
just
now married. Go
What,
ahead, Soji. Go
what
ahead.
you say, Soji?
did you just wiggle a lamb's butt?
Lamb got moves. Lamb got some serious
Don't be
moves.
jealous. Don't be jealous of the surgery. I got what I got.
I gotta go back to my desk. Love all of you.
Love you,
Mwah.
Ro. Mwah. All 242 people on board thought to have died after London-bound Air India flight crashed. Oh, this is sad. This is really sad. Yeah. So, according to theguardian.com, there appears to be no survivors from a Gatwick Airport bound plane carrying 53 British nationals, which crashed shortly after takeoff in India. That's according to the police commissioner. Ahmedabad police commissioner, not going to try to say his name, Singh Malik, told the Associated Press that some locals also have died in the crash on Thursday. A video of the incident circulating online shows the Air India aircraft, which was carrying more than 240 people, flying over a residential area before crashing. Created appears to be a huge fireball, followed by large plumes of black smoke. Images of the aftermath of the crash showed parts of the plane embedded into a residential building as firefighters continued to kill the smoke. Pieces of the aircraft's landing gear, fuselage, and tail could all be seen protruding from the building. Thoughts and prayers, definitely thoughts and prayers, or condolences to everyone's family. People are mourning. People are mourning. No one wants to be dealing with this type of tragedy. So, yeah, we pray that be comforted. Oh, this is a rough one. Rough one.
It really is because it didn't even happen to the people on the flight. It just happened to the people on the ground as well.
I suppose the plane lost altitude because if the plane just took off and is coming back down, something must have gone very awry. You know, I don't think it was bird strike. There was no birds in the neighborhood, so I think it was mechanical. But you know, the investigators will find out what happened. But still, it makes very grim reading. It makes very grim
Yeah,
reading.
definitely. There was a Canadian on board too. There was a Canadian on board based on theguardian.com, and
Mm-hmm.
more details are coming out, but this is truly unfortunate. Really. Oh boy. Again, a reminder that life is fragile. We ought to appreciate people. Um, love, spread love. Let's continue to be empathetic and compassionate. because we never know. We never know. And the government minister, oh wow, oh wow. Um, and this was shortly after takeoff. Usually, flights somehow, I don't know if it's just me, but I always know, I notice that most flights, not all, most flights take off shortly. I'm sorry, crash shortly after takeoff or right before landing. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah, those are the two most dangerous times: takeoff and landing. But usually takeoff.
Usually takeoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're trying to gain altitude. You're lumping this great thing into the sky. You'll need all the power thrust you can get in order to take it up. And then when it suddenly banks, which means it's turning either right or left, those are pretty wild times. So it's probably meant to happen, but again, it make it any easier on the people who have lost loved ones.
Yeah.
Period.
There were 169 Indian nationals, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese nationals, and 1 Canadian on the flight. Ooh, 50 medical students are in the hospital because it hit a doctor's hostel. Yeah, it's so funny. I just read it and you typed that. Hey, Tasha. Yeah, it hit the doctor's hostel. Ooh, really sad, really unfortunate. Truly and truly unfortunate. Um, Came across a video that I want to play this morning. It's on TikTok. It's a 3-part video. And it's a young lady. She is Jamaican and she is, excuse me, sharing her experience um as with ice and chess and what she went through. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's where is she? Part 1. I'm gonna ask you to just take a listen.
Hi everyone. So I'm here guys about my personal up close and personal experience with the big bad wolves. Ice of course. So 2 weeks after having my newborn baby in the United States of America, my husband and I had a disagreement. Unfortunately for me, that disagreement ended in being called not by my husband. I'm gonna put that out there, not by my husband, but I will not be calling the name of whoever it is that made that call. I'm not here to bring down anybody. I'm talking about my experience with the actual enemy, which is ICE. Bear in mind, I had my baby via C-section on the 4th of February. This incident occurred on the 18th of February, all right? I had a fresh wound, had a fresh cut, and I was brought in by ICE regardless. At first, I was at Okaloosa County and I spent a day there. My husband came and he paid my bond, and that's when we knew that there was a ICE hold on me for 48 hours. 46 into that 48 hours, they came and they got me. My first stop was at Tallahassee, which was a very that was just a nightmare. I was held in a holding cell for 12 hours, freezing. Say freezing, I mean type freezing. Bear in mind, I'm anemic. I was taking irons. I was on my iron medication. I'm anemic, and on top of that, I had a fresh wound. So at no point was I supposed to be kept in that type of condition because I me never unalive nobody. Quite frankly, I did not unalive a soul. Never robbed nobody, never scammed, never commit no fraud. So that was a bit extreme to me. When I was at Tallahassee, as I said, I was held in the holding cell for 12 hours. I was exhausted, I was tired, I was in pain, and there was nowhere to sleep. It was just the ground and the walls and the toilet with a overhead sink where you can probably get the water or whatever. So I had to sleep on the floor for a couple hours because I was so exhausted and drained. I just had a baby. So you can just imagine. From Tallahassee, I ended up at Baker. They kept me at Baker in a holding cell for 6 hours. When I got there, at this point, I was freaking out because as soon as I felt the cold conditions, I was thinking to myself, I go through this all night last night. I'm not going through it again. I asked the officer at the front, I said, sir, can I have a blanket, please? He shut the door and he said, oh, you won't be here for that long. 2 hours in being there for that long, I had to bang, 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 bang on the windows until eventually I told him that, hey, I just had a C-section done. I need a blanket. I'm anemic. Told them the whole works, and I guess they had some on me and gave me a blanket. I had to fight for a blanket. Anyways, got the blanket and I went straight to sleep because I was so exhausted. From Baker, that 6-hour-old in Baker, the next stop was at Chrome in Miami. When I got to Chrome, the first thing that greeted me was the stench of the place because Chrome is a men's facility, right? So the first thing that greeted me at Chrome was the stench. They have the men in a small ass room, literally piled on each other. And as soon as you got through that door, you could smell the collective odor. You could smell it. Fortunately for us as women, we got to stay on the psych ward, which was empty. And we got to sleep on beds. The men were not that fortunate. They were all like just head and tail on the floor. The floor was covered with like detainees, and they smelled awful. That's the conditions that they're holding the immigrants in. As far as women, I remember, if I'm remembering correctly, there were like 57 of us. When we got there, some of the workers were literally in tears because they said they took the job because they believed that they were dealing with men. Now that they have to be dealing with women, they don't know how to deal with, they don't know how to handle it. Anyways, when I got to Chrome, that was the first in a good while I got to take a shower because we stayed there for like probably 3 days, I believe. In that 3 days, there was a nurse there that there was no designated area for my cut to be looked at. So she just brought me in a room and she examined the cut. She told me that it had yeast buildup under, like I have a pouch. And she made sure that it was clean, and she made sure that the bathroom was clean thoroughly before I had a shower. So she really tried to help. On top of that, she came and she got me one evening and said, we're going to get you released because usually they don't take up females in your condition. Even if they do take you up, after a day, they would release you. You're not supposed to be here. Those are the words of her, not me. Not her words, not mine. Anyways, unfortunately, she told me not to tell anybody, but unfortunately, the next day, a guy came to me and he told me that they sent an email to a judge, I'm not sure what, and the judge said, no, I cannot be released. Anyways, we were at Chrome for a while and for like 3 days. And then eventually, they came and they called our names and kind of just split us up. And some of us were on our way to Baker County. Bear in mind, I already spent 6 hours in a holding cell in Baker a couple days before that. And now here I am going back down the line. Anyways, when I got to Baker County, I got booked there. And that was the only calm I got in a while. Because when you're booked somewhere, you end up staying there for a while. I ended up staying at Baker for like 2.5 weeks. And when I was at Baker, I met other Jamaicans, and I kind of just calmed down, and yeah. So when we were at Baker, initially, Baker was literally just babysitting us. Because here's the thing. They're grabbing students by the thousands, and they don't have anywhere to put us. So what they're doing is they're housing us in jail houses, and sometimes you can be driving around on the bus for hours time, all night, just because there is no facility that has room to keep us.
So that's part one. Here's part two.
Okay, so it's me again. This is part two of my interaction being detained by ICE. So I left off when I was at Baker. So when I was at Baker, as I said before, that's when I got the first bit of calm. Anyways, eventually, one morning, they woke us up at like 4 a.m. in the morning and told us all, hey, get ready, we're leaving. So we're like, we're leaving. These people don't tell you that you're leaving before. They just come, oh, you're leaving. You don't know where you're going. Your family not going to hear from you until you reach where you're going. And wherever you're going can take a day, 2 days, 3 days, however long it takes. That morning, we were put on a flight to Louisiana. Man, I was freaking out. I'm not going to lie. I freaked out because I was like, I'm going on a whole plane without my consent. What the what? Anyways, they huddled us all up on that flight, and they sent us to Louisiana. Before I was sent to Louisiana, I was offered a deal, and I took. But even though I took the deal, I was still, because remember, when they snatched me, I signed that I wanted to be put in front of a judge and I wanted to fight my case. To this day, I have not been placed in front of a judge to even fight my case. I've not gotten a court date to this day. And I just ended up, after sitting for 3 months and a week, I'm like, no, this is not worth it. This is not being away from my children. This is not worth being away from my family. This is not worth being locked up. It just wasn't worth it after a while. Anyways, so I didn't get to see a judge. I got offered a deal. And even though I was offered the deal, I decided that my family went ahead and hired a lawyer to see if I could get a court date that way to fight the case. Not even the lawyer could have helped me. All right? Let's just put that out there. And so when we got to Louisiana, I kept that paper with me. I was supposed to hand it over, but I kept it with me for a while because I then figured out that my child could not get his passport without consent. So I had to sit and wait for 6 weeks. For 6 weeks, I was waiting just for a paper to be notarized to give the consent to my husband to go and get the passport for my child. The conditions at Louisiana. It's an open dorm that houses 70 women. It has the capacity of holding 70 women at any given time. Imagine being in a dorm with women from various backgrounds. We were a very diverse bunch. Because for one, we don't all speak the same language. They're females from all over the world, mostly from Hispanic, Latino descents. And then you have us that speak English, and you have some of them that are bilingual, and so on and so on. Imagine being housed with 70 women. Sometimes it's 66, sometimes it's 64, but let's just keep it at 70 and let's approximate it to 70 at any given time. It's loud. The bathroom setting, it's 5 shower heads in one big room. So you're expected to shower with women that you don't know. I guess that is how it is in lockup. But anyways, imagine there was like, I don't remember exactly, but probably 9 toilets. And imagine you don't know what anybody have, but you're supposed to share the 9 toilets. You have like 9 phones, you're supposed to share the 9, and you have 9 tablets. That to me is a big setup because people are always fighting over the tablets. Thanks for that luxury of having a tablet or the use of a tablet while being in such a situation. But tablets really, with all the money that you guys are earning off of us, I think you can buy more than 9 tablets to facilitate a dorm that has 70 persons in it at some time or the next. Anyways, the conditions, the food, horrible. But thanks be to God, they have a system where there's commissary. So me, I mostly fed off commissary because my husband always made sure that I was good. So I always had money by my commissary, and that's what I really fed off of. No, they give you the commissary, but they come with the commissary whenever they feel. There's no set day. Sometimes the commissary is a week late. Sometimes it's 3 days late, a day late. Never early. It's never on time. It never comes before time or on time. It's always late. And whenever it is that you talk about it, they want to give you an attitude. I guess that's what it is in lockup. I don't know. It was a very new and out of the experience for me. So it is what it is. On top of it all, we're not protected when we are in there because the guards that are put in place to keep order are the same ones that are, to me, and I'm not even sure if I can say this word on TikTok, but these are the ones that are literally waiting on BLOOD to be shed because they don't fix problems. It's like they want the stereotype of saying, oh, these people are aggressive people and that's why they're here in the first place. But just imagine being locked up with a bunch of women from a bunch of different backgrounds, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's gonna be issues. But whenever the issues arise, they don't deal with them. You have some guards in there that are taking side with the bullies that are in there. And I'm not sure why, but this made it 10 times harder to survive. So at one point, it wasn't even the lockup that I was trying to survive. It was actually the people, believe it or not.
I sent it to you on TikTok, Kirk. Also send it to you, Rosolo. Here is part 3.
Okay, so this is part 3 of me being detained by ICE. So as I was saying before, at one point, it wasn't even being locked up that was the issue anymore. It was dealing with the actual people. Another thing is the medical conditions there. Oh, yes. We do get facilitated in getting medications and stuff. Half the time the medications are late. Sometimes they don't have the medication that you need. And sometimes, for example, when I was there, my cut, one day I was showering. But once I finished showering, I always try to dry my incision. When I was drying the incision, there were traces of blood. Bear in mind, this was probably 8-9 weeks after the actual incision. So I was a bit worried, but I wasn't like worried as, oh, I'm gonna die worried, but worried as in, oh, this might get infected worried. So all I wanted to do was some ointment to rub on my cut to make sure that it doesn't get infected. When I went to Medicina and asked them to look at it for me, when she looked, there was no blood. Of course, it was not bleeding like a river, but there was traces of BLOOD. So she told me, oh, it's not bleeding, whatever. I left out of that room. I turned to her and I said, well, even if the blood isn't there right now, it was there when I finished showering. So can I get some ointment? I was denied the ointment. She did not give me any ointment to rub on it. My cut kept bleeding for like 3 to 4 days after because every time I took a shower and I wiped it, there were still traces of blood.
It's her own, not mine. Hers.
Let's talk not so much about me right now, but I'm going to give you the experiences of some persons in there. So for example, there was this lady, I'm not going to call her name. She's Jamaican. She has problems with her veins. One night there and one of her veins popped open. Like there was BOOD spreading everywhere. It was just spraying everywhere because her vein popped. Initially, they told her that she was going to be sent out to surgery. And then after a few days, they took it back. How is it that someone is having major issues with their vein and you said, okay, we're going to schedule you to go outside to be seen by a better doctor that they can do a surgery on you to fix the problem? And then they take that back. They don't care, right? They just don't. They pretend to care, but they don't care. There's an older lady. She's also Jamaican. That woman had a DV, a domestic violence charge from 18 years ago. And this is a woman, she's an older woman. She's in her 60s. Acts like she's in her 20s. I love that lady, but she's an older woman. This lady is a green card holder. She had a domestic violence charge 18 years ago. She did time, whatever it was to be done from all the way back then. This is a woman that travels the world. So I must shut up some of you guys who keep talking about, oh, it's persons who are undocumented that are being targeted. That's a whole lie. The media lies. So she was picked up when she was coming back from a funeral that she attended in Jamaica. And she was being charged with arriving as an alien, as an undocumented alien, something of the sort. The lady has her green card. She's been traveling in and out of the country for years. So I guess because of whatever happened in January, it just changed a lot. And persons who were safe are no longer safe. Persons are being taken up by mistake. And those persons who are taken up by mistake, even though they're going to release them at some point, it's like, oh, you weren't born here. Nah, we don't care. You're going to sit and do time regardless of if we're going to release you. You're going to go through the trauma. We don't care. This whole thing is a money-making thing. This whole thing is dehumanizing because I can honestly say that I went through it, but I got through it way better than some persons because, for one, some persons have to sit and wait for months for a court date, like myself. But some persons aren't even eligible to be given voluntary departure. So they just have to sit and wait for 6 months, 9 months, just to get a court date, just for them to tell them that they're going to deport them. I was lucky. That baby that I had before this whole ordeal is a blessing. Because of him is why I can be here right now free telling you guys about the ordeal. I was given that voluntary departure on the basis of going home so that I could get my child so that I could continue to breastfeed. Okay? There are persons in there who just have to sit and wait for months just to be deported. So I guess when you're in prison, you know when you're leaving, especially if you behave well. But in these detention centers, you will be sitting for an indefinite amount of time. For those who don't understand, it means you will be sitting not knowing when or where or how you're gonna get out of that place, or when or how you're gonna get out of that place. Right? I promised the persons there that I was gonna come out and shed some light on what's happening. So that's what I'm doing. So for the persons who mean me well and they're saying, don't talk about it, I am sorry. I am the one that went through it. I am the one that was there to experience it with others. So I'm just trying to be brave. Okay? There are women that are being detained right now where their children are being placed into foster care without their consent because they don't have any family left in the country to take care of their children. So they're just giving up the children to foster care and they're deporting them. There are some persons who the man is in a detention center, the woman is in a detention center. There's nobody to keep their kids and they're just putting them in the foster care system. And when they said, when you think you have it bad, someone else has it worse, at least they know that their kids are being put in the foster care system. There are some women that just don't know where their children are. These women cry on a daily basis. Man, I'm getting emotional now. And I'll go finish that video without getting emotional. But I'm telling my skin right now, it's crawling because I witnessed this with my own ears and my own eyes. One morning, I was sleeping and I heard a cry, a scream, and there was this woman at the front of the room, all the way at the front, just sitting there crying, banging her head. Some of the other women, they were upset with her, waking them up. Oh, absurd. Look, you guys got on my nerves sometimes. When I got up, I was upset that she woke me up too. But in a split second, I was like, oh my God. And I got out and I went up there and I sat beside her and I hugged her. She doesn't speak English. And she was crying, and the only thing I could make out was her saying, "Bebe, mi bebe, mi bebe." And I hugged her and I said, "Comprende, it's to español, mama." But I understand bebe, and I understand tears. Right? She doesn't know where her kids are. She don't know where they're at. These are the experiences of the persons who are being detained. But yet still, I can only see people on social media bashing people, saying, oh, just come home. Some of us are being sent home without our children. When they're sending you home, they don't send you home with a pin that belongs to you. They're stealing the children. They're stealing your stuff. It is just pure evil. So I'm not going to talk a lot more on this. There's a lot to be said, but I think I've said enough. For those who don't understand, I hope that this gives you guys more insight and more understanding on what is happening. It's about deportation. It's about trafficking. It's about kidnapping. It's about stealing. It's money making. It's pure evil. And for anybody that wants to rejoice in some of us downfall or rejoice, I hope nothing bad in this life ever happens to you. Because bear in mind, today for me and tomorrow for you. I thank
Oof. Yeah. No one is safe. And we need to understand, absolutely, Tasha, no one is safe. And we need to understand it's not just undocumented. Documented people are being picked up. Naturalized people are being picked up. Yesterday, um, oops, oh yeah, what did I do? Okay, I don't know what the heck I just pressed on this thing. I was trying to get to something else and I pressed something on it. So last night after listening to the videos, her three-part video, I had to step back. And I said, you know something? Every okay. I had to, and I say, you know something? We sit here, especially when we talk about the Latin community, and we say, yes, this is what they voted for. But when you hear the stories, regardless of someone voted, if we say we are Christian and we say we believe in God and we believe in Jesus and so on and so forth, even without all of that, there has to be some amount of compassion and empathy. There has to be. Because as she said, today for you, tomorrow for me. The majority of us here in Kanto, we're not Caucasian. So you know already, you're not guaranteed anything. Absolutely nothing. So we really shouldn't be rejoicing or not showing empathy or any form of compassion because we can be going about our business. There are folks who have been caught up as citizens being told, even when family members are presenting the documents, they're being told those documents are fake. So we cannot feel that, oh, that will happen to me. It can happen to any of us, any one of us. I've had a C-section. My last child was a C-section. Not a pretty experience. So I can only imagine she had to go through 2 weeks postpartum with a fresh incision, the pain, the abdominal pain that she was going through. Because you can't laugh, you know, you have to hold it. I remember having to hold a pillow over my mouth if I even wanted to smile. Can you imagine? No painkillers going through that? Then you're talking about the engorgement that she has to go through. Her sepsis could have taken over. I'm grateful to her for sharing her story, for sharing her experience. And there are many more. There are many more stories out there. You know, we say do it the right way. But I ask a question. Have any of us here been in a position where we've had to run for our lives? Where we have had to escape persecution? Have any of us here ever experienced hunger, lack of opportunity to be able to take care of ourselves and our families? Have any of us here had to make sacrifices to save ourselves and to save our children? Everybody wants the best for themselves. Everybody wants the best for their children. Sometimes going through the process takes forever or never happens. My husband's father filed for his son how many years ago? And I'll know. And the process started before he turned 18. And he's still in Jamaica. So it's not always as easy as we think. And it also costs money. The intent, what was sold during the campaign was hardened criminals, right? That is what was sold. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican, many people said yes. Let us get rid of the hardened criminals. Both parties were on board with that. Hardened criminals. Nobody agreed to what's going on right now. Or I shouldn't say nobody. Many people did not agree to what is going on right now. Immigration will never be fixed. That's my personal opinion. It will never be fixed because it has to be a talking point. It has to be a campaigning point. It is used to drive fear, and that fear leads to the results and the outcomes that we see. children are being removed from foster care. Where are these children being sent? Where are they? Where are these children? Go ahead, Shelley. Go right ahead.
Hi, everyone.
Sorry, let me turn this down. Go ahead. Shelley. Whoops. I thought Shelley opened her mic.
I did, but then I heard that sound, so
No, I was switching screens and I forgot to turn the volume
Oh,
down.
okay. Good morning, guys. These problems goes in so many different direction. One, with this immigration system, America is never gonna be the same from this, and it's I am hoping that countries around the world that are looking at will realize that it's time for them to do better so that their people won't have to go anywhere else to seek a better life. I mean, countries have been already doing this, but the level to which this country is deporting people, if they round them up and send them back home, that would have been a proper thing to do. Because you don't want me here, send me home. But what happened in between, it's what is concerning. Because nobody knew before, and the way the quickness to which he aligned with El Salvador and that prison seemed like research had gone into it even before he won, because he knew the direction that he was going to go. I don't think this is an overnight thing. When the El Salvador prison came up, that's something that somebody was researching before. But they're facing, like in a lot of the claims that he has made in his campaign, he realized that the issues that he's facing is not as easy as it appears, because there are many illegal immigrants in plain sight, good houses, good neighborhoods. And because he cannot reach the masses, he's pulling for everything that he can get or anything that he can possibly reach. So the entire thing, it is so sad, and it goes into so many directions.
Miss Shelley, you get cut off. Anybody else on the panel have anything to say? Okay, see that Miss Shelley phone, are you guys hearing me, family?
No, I closed my mic because I had said what I needed to say. So
Okay.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else? Anyone else?
Go ahead, King. Go ahead. Since the mic is open, go ahead.
Okay. I made a statement in the comment section in regards to this is what I wish for my family, because I know that the slogan "Make America Great Again," a lot of times we don't recognize what America is being talked about. You might see America and think that it's the America that you know, but I can tell you that when you're preparing the foundation, or the not the foundation, but what the system has become over the years, is become very toxic, very polluted, and a certain set decide that from the get-go they don't like you. And I said this before. That's why I thank the Most High the privilege of returning back to Jamaica, right after 12 years overseas. Unfortunately, obviously, I see this coming, and there's no sign, family, that's going to show you that it's going to get better. No sign at all that it's going to get better, right? And I don't know if any of you see the nice little clip that's been going around, where for this for the 250th anniversary of the United States Army, preparing. The army is preparing. And when you prepare an army, you try to, if you have people around you that you don't think are going to be loyal to your cause, rid of them, right? That's one of the easiest way out, and I have to just let the family know the system doesn't care. They also have a lot of evil people. The stories that we are in the time of revealing, where stuff that we used to just, oh no, they're not, people don't do that, people don't, we call it now the demon. No one takes someone's child and send them off to someone that will hurt them, or the worst case scenario, take them apart. And those demons are there and lurking, and it's there revealing itself now even more than ever. These things are being revealed of exactly how they feel. Right? You can't fix it. This is it. You can't fix it. That is how it is. It's just like that somebody is mentally deranged. They're mentally deranged. Right, family? They're mentally deranged people who have a certain vibration that say, I am king and everybody must be subjected to me. And a lot of them don't have no compassion. And they will say anything while the bottom line is for some is the money. Yeah, the military complex and all of those people. A lot of them people don't care. They don't care. And the so-called paperwork that persons unfortunately holds dear to and think that, oh yeah, they respect this piece of, they respect the paper that they print the things, and oh look, I can show you this document to say that I am legit and I've been here for 20 years. They don't care. They're not going to care. And they never, that's why I'm saying it may sound away, that's why I said to my family, before they come and look for you, for those of you who can, I'm asking you, put a little bag, forward back I want space, forward back I want space where we have some family. Some of we still care, Some of we still care about our families, right? So see one here, me care about Yeah, man, me care for telling you, say, it's not going to get better, unfortunately. See, it's not going to get better. And I'm glad that creation make the revelation be clear of how they do things and how they don't care. So nobody like, oh yes, everything. No, it's not good and peachy. All right. My suggestion is start plan with some other people or now go forward back and have some for yourself. You can't think about go start some natural community and plant some food and just live like our ancestors used to do. I yield.
Thank you, King. Shelley, thank you for your comments earlier. Go right ahead, Ja. Go right ahead.
Oh no, I don't see you on the screen, so I was just going to say the same thing you said.
Hold on. I was what the other word there. You know what? I'm looking at the YouTube screen thinking I'm here on TikTok screen.
It's all good. Go ahead, Moments.
It's tough. It's really it's tough. It's tough. And I want more people to post their stories. I want more people it's
Yep, but
go ahead, Adesoji. Go ahead.
okay, so this might come as a shocker, but truth be told, that's the point. Cruelty is the point. It's not a mistake. It's not unintentional. It's not a coincidence. Cruelty, again, is the point. When they gave us 2 years ago, when they gave us that 922-page document, which everybody knows is Project 2025, all of this stuff is in there, well documented. In fact, the guy in chief is mentioned in the document more than the Constitution. He's mentioned at least 522 times. And they specifically mention the fact that everything that they want to do here is in order for him to be able to get certain things the way he wants. The irony is this. When that document came out, people thought maybe, oh, this is just the ruse. Even the man came out and said, well, I know nothing of said documents. But funny enough, how is it that the same document that you know nothing of, every major thing on said document has been ticked off? USAID will be gutted. There will be sacking of government. I'll call you. I'll come back.
Yeah. I sent it to you, Shelley. I sent you the link. Yeah, he knows nothing about it. Yeah, he knows nothing about it. I hope it rains on Saturday. We need showers of blessing on Saturday.
Oh yeah, so as I was saying, the USAID was going to be gutted. They were going to bring in Department of Government Efficiency that is going to basically upend the federal government apparatus. Judges were going to be sidelined, and you all saw it in terms of how the judges have been disregarded. Even that lady in our story said the fact that she asked to be put before a judge was not even answered, which means the idea of due process is not even being respected. So when people vote against their own very best interest, which comes back to what you were saying earlier in the sense of empathy, it's difficult to have empathy for people who don't have empathy, who don't have sympathy for themselves. It's hard. As much as the human side of us would say, oh, I can't see you bleeding out and not try to lend a hand. The question sometimes is, if you put yourself in that position, not just do it, but celebrate yourself into that position. It's hard to blame me when I choose to disregard you in your hour of pain. Unfortunately, here's the thing. Unfortunately, there's a saying in my language which is, when a big tree is going to fall in the forest, the trees around don't have any say in whether they're going to be taken down in the course of that tree coming down, which is what happens with this lady here. She probably didn't vote in the election, but somehow she got caught up in it. And this goes back to the idea of that place. On the issue of immigration, I want us to understand one thing today. As long as human beings have 2 feet, 2 feet, no border whether man-made, virtual, would stop you from going anywhere you want to go in the world. None. A wise man once said, we as human beings, we've fallen prey to the idea that we can be corralled behind walls, but yet the money that they use to go and oppress places that we have been. There's a reason why Jamaicans are in the United States. There's a reason why Brazilians are in the United States. There's a reason why Germans are in the United States. Because the United States, by very presence, has impact everywhere else in the world. And for those people that don't know, the United States as a country, it's not, I'm not talking about a continent, a country, the United States, with its 50 states, has 180 military bases all over the world. I repeat, 180 military bases all over the world. The United Nations, as a body, has, as last count, 191 members. So which means there are only probably 10 or 11 countries that the United States does not have a military base in. And when you look around the world as to where the United States is constantly poking its nose, you will know where those countries are. So we must understand when we're being taken for a fool. And the faster that we realize that, the more it's more in tandem that we can seek solidarity amongst ourselves and fight the big bad wolf. Because the big bad wolf does not care about sovereignty. But funny enough, they make you want to care about sovereignty. They want you to. They can go anywhere in the world. They can literally go and pluck a citizen of any other country. In fact, this is one bizarre one. They deported, and I talked about this yesterday, they deported 8 people, 8 Latin Americans are currently sitting on a tarmac in Djibouti. For those people that don't know where Djibouti is on the Horn of Africa, on their way to be deported to South Sudan. I'll repeat, South Americans are being deported. South Americans are being deported to South Sudan in Africa. And we're still supposed to believe, United States has an immigration problem. I yield.
If you are furious about the ICE raids that are happening right now, keep scrolling. This video isn't for you. This video is for the people who are celebrating the ICE raids because we need to talk. Hi, I'm Delara. I'm undocumented. I have lived in the US since I was 5 years old, and I have a law degree from one of the best schools in the United States. And I want to start by giving you the benefit of the doubt. You want to feel safe. Maybe you were told a story about how undocumented immigrants are dangerous. Maybe you've heard a story about how they are stealing your resources. Maybe you heard a story about how ICE is the hero. But there's a couple of things I just want you to make sure that you know in case you didn't. The first thing that is really important for you to understand is that native-born Americans commit crimes at a higher rate than immigrants. This is not an opinion, it's not a take, it's just data. Even though it's well documented, you don't even have to be that smart to understand. When you commit a crime, you have way less to lose than I do. Because if you commit a crime, maybe you get fined, maybe you spend some time in jail. If an undocumented person commits a crime, they face deportation and being ripped away from their family. The stakes are completely different. So we are careful in a way that you don't have to be. In fact, communities with a higher immigrant population experience lower crime rates. Go figure. Okay, But you might also think that undocumented immigrants are draining the system. And again, you have been lied to, and I'll explain why in a second. But first, it's really important for you to know that undocumented immigrants pay billions of dollars in taxes every year, including Social Security, which we do not get access to. And on top of that, immigrants are 80% more likely to start a business than native-born Americans. And over $500 million US startups were founded by immigrants or their kids. So no, we're not draining the system. We're building it. So why are you being told these stories about how immigrants are a threat to your safety and your livelihood? That's a good question, and there's a good answer. And it's because fear is profitable. When you're afraid, you're easier to control, because if you are busy blaming immigrants for your problems, you're not looking up at the people who actually make housing unaffordable. You're not asking, why does an ER visit cost more than my car? Why are billionaires paying less in taxes than my local school teacher? Why did my landlord raise my rent $400 to fix nothing? Because scapegoating immigrants is the oldest trick in the political playbook, and unfortunately, it still works. But it doesn't have to work on you. If you've made it this far, maybe you're not as heartless as people think you are. Maybe you're just waking up. Maybe you were misinformed. And maybe now you're starting to get it. By the way, solidarity would look really good on you. It's not.
Did you hear the last word she said? Solidarity.
She echoed your sentiment.
Thank you very much. Because that is the thing. We can't really blame social media, but at the same time, we're talking about human beings here. We fail to scratch the surface of what a lie is. There was something that happened during the last administration, towards the tail end of the last administration. Do you remember when this party now that is in power was screaming that the border was an issue? The border was an issue. The Democrats basically gave them everything they wanted with regards to the border. They didn't vote the bill in. Why not? Because the man who is currently in power told them, the moment you take that off the table, I don't have anything to run my campaign on.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
And yes, we did. And for some reason, that flew over people's heads. Now, the man is going to, under the guise of celebrating the army anniversary, is going to have a parade on Saturday. The same man who drafted Dodge numerous times is going to be standing before the army. He's a convicted felon. They usually will say the face of your leader is usually the face of your country. I mean, we knew the United States had elements of duplicity when it comes to the way it acts. Under this guy, all the pretense have completely been removed. It's like, you know what? We're gonna go bareback. You're gonna see us in the emperor completely has no clothes, and we like it so. And the world is looking like, wow, really? Really? You know, but hey, the Americans, like they will say, the system has chosen. And so we really can't, push back. But at least one thing we can say is it doesn't have to be so. It doesn't have to be so. When someone says, go and take kids in foster homes for deportation, there is an old African proverb, which is, you can tell a society with the way it treats three groups of people. It's women, it's elderly, and it's children. Just look with regards to those three, with regards to women, with regards to the United States, and you have your answer. I yield.
Thank you, Adesoji. Ozzy, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say we you didn't mention some key things that built up to what we're seeing now today. There is the the basically you create the fear in people's minds. You plant the idea of it, and then you create the circumstances to try to justify it. So, as you were saying that there were attempts at resolutions in terms of immigration, but then what happened next? They send people on buses into cities without warning. So then now you have large numbers of people being introduced to communities. And of course, these cities, these towns weren't equipped to accommodate the large numbers of these people because obviously it was a surprise to them. You just show up at their doorstep. So then now the people in those communities feel blindsided. And then they start to create even more resentment on top of the idea that was already planted. Okay, so if they're saying this is an issue, and we're seeing this, we're experiencing this, then this must be an issue. Why are these people in hotels? Why are these people being fed and stuff? And I could barely afford to do these things. And then that creates more resentment, more chaos, and that leads to even more of what we're seeing today. It's all manufactured.
So how is it that we can recognize these things, but no one else can, or they choose not to, or they're fully aware, but they choose to ignore because they're supporting the manufacturing?
People
Hold
are
on,
seeing through
King. Hold
different
on.
lenses. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Ozzy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say people are seeing through different lenses. Like I know people out here who the radio stations that they listen to get completely different information than what we're getting. The social media, the people they follow, the sources that they look at, it's two different realities, maybe even three. So the information is different, so then you apply it differently. And again, we're not hearing the same things that they're hearing. A lot of it has been, fear mongering. A lot of it has been from sources that aren't even reputable. And then strategically they play into the fears that certain demographics already have.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Ozzy. Before I hand the mic over, I think it's Adesoji and then King. You have me segueing to something else because yesterday, when we had a conversation, I gave James a hard time. I always admit anytime he push back on James really hard. I don't deny it, and I know I went hard at James yesterday because of the narrative that he's seeing up there in Canada. What is being relayed on by the media houses in Canada as it relates to what's going on in Los Angeles. And we're going to get to that after I hear from Adesoji and then King. Go right ahead, gentlemen.
Okay, so I was gonna say, with regards to you posed the question, why is it that some people get it and some people don't? Some people will seek information that confirms their biases. And so they will fall into the category that Az was talking about earlier, which is just keep giving me the same dribble that confirms that I think these people are as described. Let's not go delve into it. And there are those that habitually, just habitually, not because they go out, but habitually, they listen to the same voices. And so wherever those voices go are what they listen to. And the reason I say that is somebody posed a question yesterday. I was watching one of this, what's it called? One of these YouTube channels. And somebody posed a question with regards to information flow. Now, have you noticed a trend that the people that you previously saw on the major networks now have podcasts? Do you know why that is? The reason is those organizations, they're on the former umbrella organizations, have lost those viewers. And in order to create the illusion that these people are far removed from said organizations, they've allowed them to go and do their own thing.
We have sneeze right now. It looks
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Which in itself is a ruse. Why? Because the hope is when you say moment you previously worked for CNN, and I know the format you operate on CNN, but all of a sudden now you can have somebody like, let's just say, for want of a better word, somebody very outlandish that you previously cannot have on your channel. But now this person is speaking. Now, could you see how that will play into the people who tend to listen to you, who now all of a sudden are now being exposed to this sort of person? They are still captured, but now what you're doing is you're giving them a different drivel, but with the same format. And so this is where we as people should be much more discerning. If you cannot confirm a line of information, 1, 2, or 3 sources, then you're not getting the real news. You're not. It's like if you stand behind an elephant, the old African elephant, there's a saying that if you stand behind the tail, your worldview is the tail. If you stand in front of it, your worldview is a big trunk.
There's an image for that too, you know.
Yes. If you stand aside away from the elephant, you can see the person standing in front of the elephant. You can see the person standing behind the elephant. And you will then be saying, look at these 2 stupid people. What are they doing there? You can see the elephant and you can also see 2 stupid people. And then you're able to tell the world, do you know what I saw? I saw an elephant, but I also saw 2 stupid people standing in front and behind the elephant. Do you know what happened next? And then you can, so that's the point. Be the person that stands away from the elephant so that you can see what is going on.
Perception. All right. Thank you, Adesoji. Go ahead, King. And then I'm going to segue into the story relating to California. Go ahead, King.
Yes. One of the things, as we speak about some people getting in and some don't, I used to watch the movies, and there's a movie called The Matrix. And I often refer to that movie, say, that's the position that is being visible by some today, where they're basically like they're on the outside looking at person just moving around aimlessly, like they are lost and following the ass with the carrot dangling before it. And you're like not waked up yet. One of the things that I heard, I think it was someone in the States, I think that they said that they are losing the narrative. Yeah, they're losing the narrative. They're losing the ability to trick everybody. So now that the gloves, the covering is over, is being removed now. The revealing is started, right? It's now the time of the revealing, that the things that we think were far removed from reality, we're looking at it and like, so all this time you spend the money billions of dollars to import in a whole lot of people. Millions. You just open the door, let them in, because we are welcoming and everything went. They knew all that. They knew all of that. They planned all of that. Somebody was sitting at a table, bunch of people were sitting at a table and said, let's do this thing. Every time they tell you, every time the system does something, they plan for it first. And they will plan something for decades. There's an organization that we know, as we are talking about ICE, there's also another one named NATO. And as we are talking about military bases being everywhere, there was a plan to do things. And even what is happening now, it's planned. And you have a set of people that they call the industrial complex, and people investing in a lot of people. They are more known as business people, and they are investing in certain types of business. And in order for that business to yield, to make profit for them, they are the inside people. They know the inside deals. They know what they are creating. They know what they are doing. And for those who your eyes open in regards to even what is happening, this is just, as we said, we are in a time of revealing. It's now, I think, I see it this way. For those who believe in creation, creation is opening the eyes of the people. Now that you see it, you know exactly what is happening. Remember the word said, the truth is going to be what is going to judge you. You're seeing what is happening. So you can't say you never know. We have weaknesses, like the system will come on just now and that you were playing. So you know how the system is. They are evil. There are a lot of evil people. The system is corrupted. And the hidden agenda is, just like the brethren said earlier on, it shows you that they don't care for kids. They don't care for the elderly. They don't care for our females, who I know that in our culture, we used to reverence them and hold them on high esteem. We used to give, even when I call your life for them. Yeah, we used to be protectors of our family. Abba, the word Abba, yeah, that was a protector of the family, of the old, of the women, and of the children. A lot of the castrated figures that we have going around now, and the real men them, because remember what some of the men them do. Them a cut off them status, right? So the thing that we need to where we can focus on is how are we going to survive the next that is coming. Because we see it. So I'm going to yield right here, so you go on.
Thank you, King Art. I'm going to play a couple videos, folks. Just hang tight. Bear with me here. Where's the first one? Oops. Volume.
Immigration without another white woman's. It wouldn't be a nationwide crisis about immigration without another white woman's opinion. So here's mine. I spent 4 years living in the Coachella Valley, specifically in North Indio, with my 2 young babies and my husband for the past 4 years. During that time, we were completely immersed in the Hispanic culture surrounding us, okay? My kids were the only white kids in school. Every team sport, every after-school program, everything like that, they were the only white kids. And I will tell you this, if I had to trust a white woman to watch my kids or a Latino woman, I'm choosing the Latino woman every time. You want to know why? Because they love their babies with a fierceness I've never seen before. They love my babies with a fierceness I've never seen before. They took my babies in as their own. They were like, okay, mijo, you're one of us now. They did that with both my babies, multiple families. And these women are the hardest working women I've ever seen in my life. It didn't matter if it was 5 a.m. or 7 p.m. Their kids, immaculate looking. Their kids were groomed, bathed, and well-behaved. Those Latinas, they don't put up with any shit. No kids were crawling on their moms or disrespecting them. Are you kidding me? We would be with a football team of boys, and those boys respected their moms because they are actually teaching their children resilience, resourcefulness, work ethic, family values. They are instilling all of these really amazing principles in their kids, and we should all be taking note. It wouldn't be a nation.
And I will say this, gracias a Dios para mi abuela.
You are being manipulated. What you are watching in LA is political theater. to justify a crackdown on blue cities and states, a crackdown that was always planned. What we're seeing in LA is not an isolated or organic incident. It is something Donald Trump and Stephen Miller have been planning to do across the country, New York, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, because this isn't about safety. It's about control. The force we are seeing being unleashed on Los Angeles, the city where I live, by the way, is not an honest reaction to a developing situation, but an instigation and then justification of something pre-planned. Before the administration caused this problem by sending ICE in to terrorize our communities, to invade our city and deny people their right to due process, essentially initiating extrajudicial kidnappings of people and horrific cruel separations of children from their parents, LA was doing just fine. We live in community with one another. Over 35% of our population are immigrants, with 64% of them coming from Latin America, primarily Mexico, which of course makes sense because California used to belong to Mexico. Los Angeles itself is a Spanish name. Our streets, our culture, it's all very Latin. So to claim that our neighbors and our friends and our families are criminals and drug dealers and rapists, when you are ambushing people at immigration courts to arrest mothers and Home Depots to round up handymen and elementary schools to take children away, is outrageous. And when things are outrageous, of course people are going to protest. That is our legal right in this country when we are upset with the actions of our government. What we are seeing in LA is the response to the lack of due process for people that we know and care about. And until law enforcement got violent, the people were mostly peaceful. Now we have the federal government calling us rioters and insurrectionists and criminals. Has there been some vandalism and violence? Yes, but no more than a World Series celebration parade, and certainly way less than January 6th, which was an actual insurrection with violence against the police where everyone was pardoned for their patriotism. But here in LA, despite the fact the LAPD and the Sheriff's Department were clear that they did not want or need help, no external law enforcement, and the governor was adamant the National Guard, which is under his jurisdiction, not be called in, 4,000 National Guard have been deployed here, along with the US military. The Marines, no less, all on Los Angeles streets. For what? What are they going to do? Because they're not here to quell protest. The Marines weren't trained for that. These guys are trained killers, not crowd control. This is a show of force to make a point. The troops in LA, the National Guard, the Marines, the helicopters with their missiles flying between our buildings downtown, the troops with their tanks that will be on display in Washington this weekend, this is all a move towards a different form of government, a move from democracy and rule of law to authoritarianism and a strongman style of government, where Donald Trump gets to be Vladimir Putin or Viktor Orban or Kim Jong-un. This was always the plan of the Trump Project 2025 administration. LA is just the excuse. And what better way to prove your power than by dominating a blue city in a blue state? Do not be mistaken. The language being used around this event is deliberate. Stephen Miller knows what he's doing when he uses the word insurrection. J.D. Vance is using insurrection language. Kristi Noem is calling LA a city of criminals. Mike Johnson said Gavin Newsom should be tarred and feathered. A massive, horrific crime, by the way. The president has called for the mayor and the governor's arrest. What they are doing is called papering the record, so that later they can justify the extreme actions they already planned to take. The LAPD was handling these protests just fine. But the Trump-Miller regime needed a justification to invoke the Insurrection Act and take full control of the country. And this is the opportunity they've been waiting for. It's just an opportunity they instigated. So we have to make sure they don't get what they want. They don't get their photo op of bad behavior. They don't get to wag the dog and make us the criminals they want us to be. Our city is not rioting. We're not insurrectionists. 1 in 10 Americans lives in California. LA County has a bigger population than 44 states in this nation. LA is not blue. It is red, white, and blue. LA is America. And make no mistake, Donald Trump is at war with America. He wants to destroy America. He's just using LA to do it. So we could really use the country's support because he's certainly not going to stop with us.
But my issue is this. All of y'all voted for this so that it would hurt somebody else. The problem was you got upset when you found out that, oh, shoot, it can hurt me too. And honestly, it's ingrained in who Democrats are, is that we actually care and we love and we want to take care of everybody. And that's why we got this big tent party and we all over the place. But I will tell you that compassion is something that we are missing in Congress.
Yes.
Like caring is something that we are missing in politics in general. And that's the only way you can justify a senator going out there and saying, well, everybody gonna die. And then decide that you're gonna do your apology, not so much an apology in what looked like a graveyard. I'm like, listen, ain't nobody elect you to be anybody's grave digger. They elected you to do everything that you can to make sure that their lives are flourishing and getting better and that they were living as long as they could. But my issue is this.
So the reason I played that clip with Jasmine Crockett is I want to have a conversation with the Democrats for a second. You're a party of compassion. You recognize that compassion is missing. But I would like you to change your MO. You have the opportunity to take back the reins in the midterms. It's being handed to you on a silver platter, or gold, or ivory, whatever. But it's being handed to you on a platter right now. The world will be watching. Are you going to change the way you operate? Stop trying to reach across the aisle. Stop waiting for everybody to be on board. You know what needs to be done? Get it done. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Get it done. Waiting on bipartisan support. It doesn't work. This is your moment. Seize it. Get ready. So that when you flip in the midterms, you can just charge ahead like that raging bull. Stop playing nice. There comes a time when you take off the pearls, take off the coats, kick off your shoes, roll up your trousers, roll up your sleeves, and get down and dirty. There comes a time when you have to forget about what Michelle Obama said, that when they go low, we go high. There comes a time, sometimes you just have to go down in it with them. Because that is how you get ahead. We've said this here. History will show you that whatever benefits we are able to relish in right now did not come easily. It was not because someone had a heart. Never. You think slavery was abolished because somebody woke up one morning and said, okay, all right. You know what? Oh, we've been doing wrong. Our ancestors had to fight for freedom. Oh, you thought the monarchy over there in England or in Portugal or in Spain or the Dutch? You thought they just got up and said they had a change of heart? No. The freedom was fought for. The opportunities that we as women, which we're slowly losing, and God forbid P25 has its way, we're not going to have any freedoms. Do you think the freedoms that we enjoy as women, that being able to own a home, being able to secure credit, being able to garner an education, being able to speak up, being able to advocate for ourselves, being able to vote, being able to own your own home independently, do you think that came easily? No. No, it didn't. Those who came before us had to fight for it. Yesterday, Adesoji, on your podcast, WAR, Women and Resistance, you highlighted another beautiful soul who I never knew about, but we knew about the justice that the judge, what's her name, Ruth
Bader Ginsburg.
We knew about her, but we didn't know about the force behind her that made it possible for her
Correct.
to propel. can't be silent.
I wonder why.
We can't be silent, folks. Nothing came easily. Nothing. Everything. And even if you look at yourselves where you are, for example, many of us like to brag about our jobs and the positions we have and the titles and the letters of the alphabet that are strung up behind our names. Many of us like that. How did you get it? Was it just automatic? Didn't you have to put in the grind and the hard work and the sacrifice? Didn't you have to do that to earn that? Yeah. Nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing. Stop allowing fear to control you. Fear of the unknown is what is causing false narratives to be propelled, pushed and propelled. You ask some people why you don't like one group versus another group, and so they can't tell you. They have no justification, no justifiable reason. Take care, King. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Some people, let me tell you something. Everyone, or let me back up. Whatever community you go into, you're going to find the same elements, regardless of the color of our eyes, the texture of our hair, the complexion of our skin, our cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, our sexual orientation. It don't matter. Everything is in every community. So be careful when you spread those blankets. Be very careful. Be careful, folks. Don't be easily led down the path of hatred. Don't. Don't allow hatred to consume you. Don't do it. If you say you love, show love, live love. When everything that we see going on around the world, all the atrocities, the wars, the fighting, the unnecessary unaliving. Yes, unnecessary. Fear, greed, people wanting control and power. People, one group thinking they're better than another. At the end of the day, from dust we came and to dust we shall all return. None of us getting out. None of us going to live forever. So can we, while we're here, coexist? Just coexist respectfully. I don't have to like everything that you do or like everything that you eat or like everything that you say. But if I respect you and I say I love you, I will let you be. I will allow you to live just as I want to live. I will allow you to be able to feed your family just as I want to feed my family. You say you're going after criminals. I didn't know the criminals were on the construction sites, building the houses. I didn't know they were in the farms, picking the fruits and the vegetables, taking care of the cattle and the livestock. I didn't know they were at the elementary schools, dropping their kids off, picking their children up. I didn't know they were, I just don't know. This sounds like what is happening over there in Gaza. We're looking for the H group, but somehow it's women and children. Hey, Mr. President. We're saying one thing, but we're seeing something else. What is it? What's really going on? How are you sleeping at night knowing that you're invoking all of this? How? Peacefully? I don't think so. I really don't think you're having a peaceful night's sleep. It's impossible. But I'm hoping for one thing.
We have some news right now. It looks increasingly likely that it's going to rain on Donald Trump's parade, quite literally. The latest forecast for Saturday, which is the day of Donald Trump's military parade, calls for rain at an 80% clip, according to the Apple weather maps. When you go on weatherchannel.com, the odds of it raining are 60 to 70%. And according to weather forecasters, the pattern is setting up for Washington, D.C. to have a very wet weekend for Father's Day weekend, and coincidentally on the same day that Donald Trump's parade is scheduled. This is the military parade that's going to cost taxpayers up to $45 million on Donald Trump's birthday, on Flag Day, on the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. And the White House has made it a priority to have a very large turnout, but it looks increasingly likely that it could be raining for most of, if not all of the day, which will suppress turnout and rain on Donald Trump's parade. Spread the word. I'll do a full.
So remember, folks, if you're interested in earning $1,000, let me turn this down. If you're interested in earning $1,000 in cryptocurrency, you can head on over to Craigslist, go down to the bottom of the screen where it says talent. You're going to click on talent. When you click on talent, it is going to take you to the listing. District of Columbia, seat fillers needed, June 14th. What do you call it? $1,000, flat fee of $1,000 will be paid in cryptocurrency. T Melon Events is looking for seat fillers and extras to provide their time for space maximization and attendance perception for an event in Washington, D.C. on June 14th. All right, so there you have it. $1,000 will be paid cryptocurrency to for the position. Yeah, it is real. It is real. No lies being told. It's real.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hats will be provided.
Made in China. The hats are made in China.
Attendance perception. Just play that in your head a couple of times.
Hey, moments. If I go into this, I don't want no meme coins, you know.
That's what you
I
get.
want Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin or something legit. This meme coins and them. Anybody could come up with a meme coin. That meme coin can't even pay for my ticket to get down there.
It wouldn't be the first time that they weren't paid when they said they were supposed to be paid.
We did pay them, but there was a bit of a logistic problems with completing the payments. So we did pay them.
So did you fix the logistic problem?
We're still working on it.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It is a real thing. Yes, we're still comparing crowd sizes.
Yes, Ozzy. Some of us still have to, well, some men, you know, they lead with their head, the size of their heads.
Pause.
All right, folks, I do have to cut it short because I have to go do something for my son. I'll be back later on this afternoon when I get done because we still haven't touched the news yet. So just be on the lookout. Yeah, I'm gonna do the live a little later on so we can get through the stories that we have. I just want to say thank you so much, Ja Rosolo Adasoji Kabang. Thank you for coming back, Kabang, Ozzy, Mr. President, and everyone below. We're gonna be back in give me about 2 hours, and let me go handle my boss. Yeah, I have 5 bosses, but funny enough, your children are the bigger bosses. Your husband is the assistant. He has to, as a matter of fact, they're the boss of him. So yeah, we have 4 bosses that we have to report to. So when them, you know, I never understand our children. I don't know if I'm the only one, but they make their plans and then you have to fit in with their plans. Yeah, so it is. And you have to march to the beat of their drums sometimes. All right, folks. So thank you for tapping up the screen. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the new followers. We're gonna be back later on, so look out for me in about 2 hours. All right, gonna eat something, having a coffee, burp. I remember. I'll be back, folks. See you in 2 hours. All right, thank you. All right, YouTube. I'll be back with you also, YouTube. I'll be back. Everyone listening online, I do have to run. I know we're not going to be able to be back with you. So tomorrow morning, definitely have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Take care. Coffee in Tow is an interactive world news podcast, a dynamic and engaging live show that streams across multiple internet radio stations worldwide. This podcast brings you real-time news updates, in-depth analysis, and interactive discussions on global events, making you a part of the conversation no matter where you are. With a diverse range of expert guests and listener participation, it's your go-to source for staying informed and connected to the world. Coffee in Tow is brought to you in part by Lormel Skin Food. Log on to lormelskinfood.com. Discover the range of natural skincare solutions. Indulge in the radiance of natural and organic beauty with the best natural and organic soap bars, whipped soaps, body butters, and oils. All 100% natural products. Lormel Skin Food for a natural, beautiful you. The world's best coffee from our farms to your cup. It's Grand Coffee House.